Write molecular, complete ionic, and net ionic equations. First thing we need to do is we need to write my formulas for my two reactants, and they're told that they're solutions, right? So that makes them AQ. Then we need to do our double displacement reaction, predict the products, and then we use our solubility rules to figure out the states of matter of my two products. Barium phosphate is insoluble, so it's my precipitate. Potassium nitrate is soluble. And then of course I need to balance this. I was running out of room, so there's my coefficient of 6, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's the molecular equation. That's something you already know how to do. Now we're going to turn our molecular equation into a complete ionic equation. So what we do is we take everything that is aqueous and we split it up into its ions. Because if something is aqueous, it's not floating around attached to each other. Rather, it's split up into its ions, right? We talked about this. When this is soluble, it splits up into its ions because of the ion-dipole intermolecular force. Now we've got to distribute this coefficient, right? So this doesn't become Ba2+, it becomes 3 Ba2+, because there's a coefficient of 3 here. And this isn't just nitrate. There are 2 nitrates in this compound, and there's a coefficient of 3. So that gives me 6 nitrate. Then we're going to do the same thing here. 2 times 3 is 6K+. 2 times 1 is 2 phosphates. We leave this alone because it's the precipitate. So that means it's not split up into ions. And then we're going to split this one up as well. Again, distribute that coefficient. The way we go from complete ionic to net ionic is just look at both sides of the equation. If there's anything that's exactly the same on both sides, it's not participating in the reaction. It's called a spectator. In other words, it's just floating around in the solution, but it's not doing anything meaningful. Okay? So, I cross out 6 nitrate and 6 potassium. Now they have to match exactly in order to cross them out. And what you're left with is what's actually happening in the equation. 3 barium ions are combining with 2 phosphate ions to form barium phosphate precipitate. And my spectators are the ones that are just hanging out in the solution. They're not doing anything. So they're potassium ion and nitrate ion. I really advise that you try lots of practice problems that I posted on D2L. And again, if formula